All right, so we got another cool season one coming up, and I promise you, warm season folks, I got some more for you. Just happens that there's just so many cool season coming in because it's seed time of the year. So this one comes from Paul. I'll read this one in the Chicago accent because of where he's at. He says, "How you doing? I'm in Illinois, south suburbs. From what I've read, you used to live over by here. Anyway, this year I was late getting started, but fascinated with your products and your knowledge. I have a lot of weed issues, and I'm wondering how to treat the weed issues this fall and next spring while also feeding my lawn and my soil. I'm not looking to aerate and overseed, but I saw you got a lot of products over by there, and I'm ready to order the right products for the right time and the right purpose. I'd like to get started here in the fall. What do you think?" All right, so we got someone here that, Sam, he wants to get started, or Paul, sorry, Paul. He wants to get started, but he's not going to aerate and overseed. What can he do? And by the way, you don't have to aerate and overseed. You don't. It's cool. I want you to do it. I want you to experience it. But if your lawn is sufficiently thick, you got to realize that you can make a lot of headway with it really fast, even in the fall, just by pushing it with fert. So let's talk about that. For those of you that have a cool season lawn that you're not going to aerate, you're not going to overseed. Plus, he's just getting started here. And, you know, to have aeration and overseed and starter fert and all that be your very first thing you do when you're just starting, that's a lot, man. Maybe do that next year. Start with the basics. Start with something that's easy, and that's going to be fertilizer, pre-emergent, and a couple other things. So the first thing is your existing lawn that's there. As you come into fall, as soil temperatures fall below 70 degrees, your lawn is going to start to want to run again. It's going to want to start grabbing energy from the sun. It's going to want to start pushing roots. It's going to push a lot of roots in the fall because it's preparing for the coming winter in Illinois, where it's going to be dormant. And so it's got to fatten itself up. It's got to think of it like a bear ready for hibernation. The bear's going to eat a lot. It's going to gorge itself so that way it can hibernate all during the winter. And that's exactly what your lawn is going to do. So the first thing you want to do is you want to start hitting it hard with fertilizer. He asked for products from our website. I would say CarbonX, straight up. CX DIY, hammer it every 4 weeks. As soon as soil temperatures start to look like they're going to whiff close to that 70, bam, Carbon Earth, CX DIY. Every 4 weeks. When you get a little bit later into the summer, this is assuming no soil test as well. When you get a little bit later into the fall, really you could just keep up with that at super high nitrogen, or maybe you want to switch to something like the Balance that's got a lot of NPK in it, whatever. But we'll talk about winterizers later on down the road. But really, I mean, CarbonX, just hammer it, man. It's going to be the best thing for you. It's going to push the growth, going to push everything to really move, going to get some roots in. It's going to get things established and make your lawn this silvery blue-green. That's a product you're going to put down. Second thing, you want to defend against Poa annua, chickweed, spurge, hairy bittercress, henbit. These are fall germinating annuals or winter annuals. These are ones that are going to germinate as the soil temperatures fall around 70. At that same time, you're going to start fertilizing. These weeds are going to germinate, and they're going to start growing, and they're going to survive over winter, and they're going to plague you in the spring. So you want to put down a pre-emergent. Dithiopyr is what you want to use, or you can use prodiamine. You choose. But dithiopyr is really typically the one that people use, and they use prodiamine in the spring. So put down your dithiopyr. Get that watered in, 4 pounds per 1,000. You probably only need one application of that. That's going to last you 4 months. So if you start that in September, that's going to go October, November, December. You're going to be fine. By the time you get past that, your ground's going to be frozen anyway in the south suburbs of Chicago. So first thing, fertilize every 4 weeks. One application of pre-emergent here at the same time as soil temperatures fall to 70. Weeds, you want to spray weeds? You said you got a lot of weeds there that are already there. Maybe you got some clover, you got some plantain, whatever. You got some stuff lingering in the lawn there from the summertime. So I'll give you an example of a really good weed control, and it is called Speed Zone. Speed Zone. Speed Zone is a great weed control. It's got 2,4-D at a very high concentration, 28%, carfentrazone, dicamba, and MCPP. Yeah, you know me. That's a very good mix for weeds. But the best part of that is that the 2,4-D is going to kill most of the weeds, and it's in the ester formulation, so it works well in the cooler temperatures, which is what you're going to have in the fall. So Speed Zone is great for spring and fall. Speed Zone is going to wipe out pretty much a lot of stuff that you have. Now, if you have some crabgrass lingering, you probably need to get a little quinclorac on that as well. Now, another one you could get if you have violet or ground ivy. Now, that Speed Zone will do pretty good on violet and ground ivy, but if you do have violet and ground ivy, which is really bad in the south suburbs of Chicago, you want to get triclopyr. That's an active ingredient, and you can get it by itself, also in an ester formulation, so it works really good in the fall. So if you have a lot of violet, creeping Charlie, triclopyr, that's an active ingredient. So those are the products. Those are the things you're going to put down. You just spot spray with that weed control. Now, the other thing you want to do, obviously, I say these things all the time. You want to get your watering in line. If you're not going to get any kind of, you're going to get temperature help, but if you're not getting irrigation help from Mother Nature, which usually you do in the fall, you'll get that rain once a week or so. But if you're not getting that, you're going to have cloud cover. That's going to help. But the one thing you want to do is water. So water 1/2 inch every other day or so. As temperatures get cooler, you can back that off to every 3 or 4 or even 5 days, 1/2 inch, if you're not getting help. But I'm telling you, I remember so many times in October where, you know, Halloween would get rained out or whatever. So you're going to get plenty of rain in the fall in that area. And then the third thing, get your mowing in line. Start mowing as often as you can. Buy a new lawnmower if you need one, Paul, but enjoy that mow. Mow every 4 days, 5 days. Again, what that's going to do is just encourage rooting, encourage lateral growth. It's going to encourage fattening up of the turf, and that's what you want. Get that mowing in line. So those are the things I would do, not aerating and overseeding.